Grand Old Partisan celebrates more than 16 decades of Republican heroes and heroics. Today I lament Democrat vote fraud. Were it not for slavery party evil, this dire warning would not be today's reality. July 17th, 2020, Mike Pence spoke on behalf of a visionary. Quote, "Allow me to begin by bringing greetings from another great fan of the Badger State. He's a man who loves the state of Wisconsin. He's been fighting to keep the promises that he made to the people of this state every day for the last 3.5 years, and he was in this state just not too long ago. So allow me to bring greetings from the 45th President of the United States, President Donald Trump. You know, in our first 3 years, President Trump did keep every promise that he made to the people of Wisconsin and people all across this country, and the results were extraordinary. I mean, we rebuilt our military, we cut taxes across the board, we rolled back regulations at a record pace, unleashed American energy, fought for free and fair trade. And in our first 3 years alone, businesses large and small created more than 7 million new jobs all across this country. I came here to the city of Ripon, Wisconsin, where the Republican Party was born, to describe that choice. You know, when that first convention met here in 1854, they wrote that their decision to found a new political party had been, and I quote, "forced upon us by the slave power, and in defense of freedom. They said they would, quote, cooperate and be known as Republicans. And so they have ever been." 6 years later, they elected the first Republican president, who ushered in the abolition of slavery and the advancement of our highest ideals. Our economic recovery is on the ballot, but also are things far more fundamental and foundational to our country. It's not so much whether America will be more conservative or more liberal, more Republican or Democrat, more red or blue. It's whether America remains America. It's whether we will leave to our children and our grandchildren a country grounded in our highest ideals of freedom, free markets, and the unalienable right to life and liberty, or whether we will live to our children and grandchildren a country that is fundamentally transformed into something else. Like those first Republicans, we stand at a crossroads of freedom. Before us are two paths, one based on the dignity of every individual and the other on the growing control of the state. Our road leads to greater freedom and opportunity. Their road leads to socialism and decline. President Trump set our nation on a path to freedom and opportunity from the very first day of this administration. But Joe Biden would set America on the path to socialism and decline. When you consider Joe Biden's agenda and his embrace of the radical left, it's clear. Joe Biden would be nothing more than an auto pen president, a Trojan horse for the radical agenda, so radical, so all-encompassing that it would transform this country into something utterly unrecognizable. Back to Basics for the Republican Party is my civil rights history of the GOP. To quote the book, "The more we Republicans know about the history of our party, the more the Democrats will worry about the future of theirs." For more information, see grandoldpartisan.com.